everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this Thursday, July 15th, 2021. I'm Jeremy Crosby. Hope you're having a wonderful day or evening as you're tuning in for our edition here of Talking Fitchburg. We got a jam-packed show for you today. A lot of things going on. We've got, we're going to be talking about the winner of the Sweeper Art Contest. We actually have the winner. We'll show you the design coming up here in the headlines. In the guest segment and digest, we've got our construction update. And in our guest segment, we're checking in with Hy-Vee. We're talking about spices. Oh, yeah. Love the spices. We're going to break it down for you and find out. We're going to find out the top 5. What did I ask her? Top 5? 4. Top 4 spices that Andrea uses, like that's in her kitchen. So we're going to break it down for you. All of that coming up here on the show. I do have one announcement here before we get started, and it's Pack in the Park in Fitchburg. We have the date, and we've shared that with you, but we also have the movie and everything else in between. So Pack in the Park, Fitchburg, returns Friday, August 6th at 6 p.m. at McKee Farms Park. Anyone can join in on this fun. This is a free carnival, games, inflatable prizes, and a screening of Tom and Jerry. Yes, Tom and Jerry, the movie, will be premiering at approximately 8:15 p.m. in the park. So come on out. It's kind of the end of the summer for the Park and Rec staff, saying thank you, and just for the community to come out and have a good night. And there's a lot of fun games there. If you haven't been out at this before, it's certainly a lot of fun. And make sure you get this on your calendar because August 6th, that's going to be a very fun night. Again, Carnival starts at 6, movie at 8:15. All right, transitioning now to the Street Sweeper Award. The contest, it's been awarded. We have a winner, and we want to introduce you to them and show you what this new design looks like. Take a look.
How do you like it? I really like it. I love it. It's so cool. Wow.
Thank you to everyone for attending this award ceremony for the city's first ever Street Sweeper Artwork Contest. First, I'd like to thank all of the students who participated in this artwork contest, as well as Lonnie, our street sweeper operator, who came up with this great idea to get our community involved. The city purchased its first street sweeper over 10 years ago, and at that time, we could get through the entire city within 4 weeks. However, with growth, development, and the addition of new roads, as of 2020, it took 8 to 10 weeks to get through the entire city. Our new street sweeper doubles our fleet from 1 to 2 and allows us to provide a higher level of service to our residents. Street sweeping not only helps to keep our streets looking neat and tidy, it also plays a huge role in protecting our water quality. Debris on the road can contain oil and solvents from cars and trucks, salt and sand spread during the winter, lawn chemicals, and phosphorus-containing leaves. In the urban area, the storm sewer system consists of curb and gutter and an underground network of pipes which takes these pollutants directly to our natural water resources. Street sweeping helps to prevent these materials from washing into our storm sewers and then out into our lakes and rivers. The slogan on our new street sweeper reads, "Working together to keep our lakes and rivers clean." This underscores that there is no silver bullet to improving water quality, and we have to work together. We encourage residents to get involved by installing a rain garden or rain barrel, picking up pet waste, reducing or eliminating the amount of fertilizer that goes on lawns and other outdoor spaces, and by helping to keep our streets leaf-free in the fall. All of these activities can help ensure that debris doesn't travel down storm drains and end up as pollutants in our water bodies, which can lead to toxic algae blooms, low oxygen levels, and green, murky waters, none of which are good for the environment. Thank you so much to Ding Han for sharing your talents with the city and providing us with this beautiful artwork to help spread the word about keeping our waterways clean.
This is beautiful. It's going to look fantastic going down the streets. And so I'm just really impressed. You did a fantastic job. Thank you very much for all of your efforts in doing this. Like Claudia said, the street sweepers are part of a bigger program to make sure that we're being as environmentally friendly as we can. And it's an important piece. And I think that having such a beautiful design will get more attention to what we're doing here. So I look forward to seeing this going down our streets as well. So again, thank you very much. I have both a certificate of appreciation and a gift certificate for you for all of your hard work. I very much appreciate it. And it's just a small token of our appreciation. Thank you very much. And we're going to take some photos, and when you see it go by, you can, wave and let people know this was yours. But you did a great job. I really am impressed. Thank you very much for all your efforts and your work in doing this.
I've been into art ever since I guess I could pick up a pencil, and I really wanted to contribute to Fitchburg, which I've lived in for the past 6 or 7 years. So when this art contest came up, I decided, why not enter? And maybe I could win, maybe not, but at least I had fun. I went through 2 drafts. This was the second draft. The first one, I wanted to be a bit creative with the Fitchburg logo, but then I decided to scrap it and incorporate some nature, because I saw a lot they attached a website for inspiration, and it was some chalk drawings, and I saw that everything was so colorful. It had a stream, it had wildlife, so I decided to include that, and some community buildings like City Hall and the Fitchburg Library, and some houses. I've seen all of these animals around Fitchburg, and I just wanted to say that this is specifically for Fitchburg, nowhere else. I was going to include a fish, but I couldn't quite draw it. But I included some butterflies, some dragonflies, some little frogs, a turtle. I really, really love it. I like how they included my name here. I had a different message, but I like this new message more. It's to work together to keep our environment, and especially streams, lakes, rivers, clean, because they're very, very important for humanity and for just the world. Because I really believe that people, especially people that live in Fitchburg, really care about the environment and keeping the wildlife safe. I really can't express how thankful I am for being able to see my artwork on such a big canvas, and I'm very, very grateful that everyone decided to choose my artwork to be displayed. I'm gonna feel so, so proud. I'm gonna be really, really happy and excited whenever I see it driving down the street.
All right, there you have it. You saw the young lady and the great design, and watch for that in a street near you. Yes, it's really cool, and glad to have the street sweeper in place and keeping that stuff out of our waterways. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. Coming up next, we open up our digest. We have your road construction update. That's next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from our Public Works Department, my favorite traffic engineer, the only one I know, Andrew McFadden. Andrew, welcome back to the show. How you doing?
Hey, Jeremy, good.
You got to like that intro. The only one I know.
The only one, yep.
So I don't know if that's
but the
good or
best
bad.
one, only one you know. So there you go.
Darn
That's all I
right.
can-
Darn right. Boy, a lot of hard grinding work happening out there at the Fishhatchee Road construction project. Drove through it yesterday a few times, and mainly because, I mean, I had to get through there, but seeing that pulverizer take all the old pavement and turn it into an aggregate, if you will, is pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
It is. Tell us what else is going on up there besides that operation.
Yeah, so this week we're mainly removals and grading, and the crushing pavement. We got some storm sewer work, so they're kind of starting up by that box culvert. Start at that lowest end, and kind of work up. And so they're kind of working south on that. We do have some electrical work going on, installing some of the lights, traffic lights up there, not traffic signals, but the roadway lights. And then utilities are certainly doing their relocates, as and so as there's conflicts with some of the storm sewer and other electrical conduit that we're putting in there, those existing services have to move and kind of relocate to make room for us. So that's mainly what's going on this week. Is there going to be more of the same next week? A little bit. We're kind of starting to mobilize on some modular block wall, working on the box culvert some more, and then continuing installing some of the conduit for the traffic signals and some of the electrical conduit for our traffic lights. So yeah, got a lot going on. And then I will note some upcoming traffic impacts coming up. I know we kind of talked about them last time, but just kind of we're firming up the dates a little bit more. So certainly we're anticipating closing the Cahill intersection on Monday, the 27th, and that will continue for our 12-day closure through August 6th. During that whole time, High Ridge will certainly be open. Caddis will remain open the whole time. And then we'll switch. And so then after that, on the 9th, on August 9th, we'll have High Ridge closed fully to complete that work. And that will last through August 20th. But again, during that time, Cahill will be open. So we'll kind of do that end of July through kind of end of August. That will be kind of I would say the last big significant changes of kind of closures before we switch back to kind of the end of stage F, where we're more working on the medians and doing some daily closures just here and there. But I think that once we get over this hurdle with some of these full closures of intersections, I think that we'll see the light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully.
No pun intended there. Bus stops have changed a little bit as well. Andrew, if you could go through just a couple of those, just so people know that they have been moved.
Yeah, I think it's tough to specify each one. Yeah, you'll notice some new shelters up there that we put up on the east side. So I mean that's definitely an added benefit. But I'll kind of send folks to the website to kind of check the map out. So I think 2 updates back, I think the 6/23 update, we included some maps in there with some of the bus stops locations on there. Please reference that, just and then feel free to let us know if you have any questions. But we have some temporary signage out there that kind of shows where those bus stops are. And I will note that certainly when High Ridge is closed, there will be significant impacts there. We'll be shifting bus stops so that that's still accessible because buses won't be able to access through High Ridge. So probably next time. So that'll be the kind of closure in August. So we'll definitely be going through what those bus stop impacts will be probably at the next or the following construction update meeting.
At the intersection of McKee Road and Fishhatchee Road, will there ever have to be any specific closures there or nighttime closures to finish off that whole intersection? I mean, it's cool how you guys have done it and constructed and made it work, but will there have to be any closures at that site at all?
Yeah, that's a great question. So from my understanding, there may be some coming up. I can definitely have more information about that. You shouldn't expect it this upcoming week. We'll be doing storm sewer pipe work in kind of what is currently closed, kind of just south of the intersection there. This upcoming week, so we'll definitely see that opened up while you drive past it. But we don't anticipate any full closure. That's just such a busy intersection there that we can't really close that down. But there will definitely be some shifts in the traffic control throughout the remainder of the project as we start getting different sections of the project or that intersection constructed. So I think, yeah, certainly the next section is going to be that southern half storm sewer pipe, getting that, that big right turn bay laid out that you've kind of seen that the grading on there, but we'll actually get that, poured and and constructed, and then we'll start moving on to some of the other stretches on the north half and then some of the median work. So.
Cool. Yeah, it's coming together. It looks great. And, we'll keep updating folks as those closures come in. Andrew, I appreciate your time as always, and we'll look forward to catching up with you next week.
Yeah, I do want to mention just a few things, just quick
geez,
check-in.
I was trying to close you out, and that bad professional media guy here not asking you. What else do you have, Andrew? I blew it.
Yeah.
I blew it.
Not too much more. Just a quick check-in. We're still scheduled for the week of the 26th for the South Saline water main work. So again, they'll kind of be, intermittent delays, but we won't be doing a full road closure for that. Similarly, the work up at the McCoy Bridge that WISTOT's undertaking. My understanding is that currently they don't have the nighttime closures. They're pouring the bridge deck next week for those westbound lanes or northbound, however you want to look at it. So they anticipate some intermittent delays during the day, but they don't know exactly when that'll happen. It'll just be kind of dependent upon their staging. So that's kind of my update for that project, and hopefully we'll have more as that project continues.
Fantastic. Anything else to report on?
No, West Clayton. Well, I guess I'll say West Clayton should be all wrapped up. We got the signs installed at the rail crossing, and the shoulders are in now. So if you have any additional comments or questions there, feel free to let us know. But otherwise, that project should be wrapped up, and we'll probably get some signs up there just to discourage folks from, some no outlet and some dead end signs up there, just to make sure people understand and they don't turn in there accidentally. But.
Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to get that down for sure.
For sure.
All right, Andrew, thank you so much. Again, we'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy.
You bet. Andrew McFadden, don't cut him off when he has stuff to tell you. Jeez Louise. No, appreciate his time, and check out the website, fitchburgwi.gov, for more information. We'll take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me today from Hy-Vee in all of Dane County. It's Andrew Miller. Andrew, welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Thank you for being back on the show. And you always give me some topics to choose from. And today I got a little selfish and picked one to my flavor. But I think it will be the time of year for a lot of gardeners out there when they're thinking, and say we're talking about flavor, spices, herbs, and pickling. I'm so excited for this.
Yes.
And also because I just went on a trip and picked up a whole bunch of spices that are probably not so good for me. So it's like timely in that fashion as well. So first and foremost, when we think of flavors, I just think you automatically think salt, and thinking, well, you can't have too much salt. But overall, what would you say to that point?
Yeah, that's a good thing to bring up to start when we're talking about taste and flavor. The one thing about salt is we can acquire a taste for salt. So the good news about that is we can kind of desensitize our taste buds by cutting down on the amount of salt we use. And so we actually taste it when there's less of it. So we can kind of desensitize our taste buds. That's what that's doing. So the key with using salt with cooking is we use it with fresh foods. We use it when we're cooking kind of whole foods that don't naturally have salt in them to bring out the natural flavor in the food. We want to try to do that rather than using it to taste the salt itself.
Well, then don't tell my wife that, because I may have oversalted a few things here and there. But a good piece to understand.
Yes.
As far as spices go, what are we looking for when we're trying to find that awesome spice? I'm assuming it's less salt, more realness to it, I guess.
Yeah, so the good news about spices and herbs is you really can't go wrong. So you are going to get some nutritional benefit, but really the main goal is to get you a flavor that you enjoy and that is pleasing to your palate. And that might take a little bit to play around with blends or to play around with different kinds of herbs and seasoning, but you really can't go wrong. There's really no bad spice. It's all a personal preference. And kind of checking out different recipes. We're including a couple links to give you some really good ideas for even making blends on your own, where you just blend just whole individual spices and put them together. And then also giving you ideas on what to use them on. So if you're roasting vegetables or use them on fish or chicken. So just to kind of flavor up foods that might be bland all by themselves.
I guess turning back to, so if I'm looking for a grilling mixture, if you will, that combines all these things, what would be your suggestion as a dietitian for picking those out? Do I look for like less sodium or less MSG? Tell me some of those things that stand out to you. You're gonna pick that.
Sure. So if you're doing an herb or a spice blend, there's a very good chance there's no salt at all in it. And so what you can do is you can kind of flip that over and look on the ingredient list, and it'll say salt in the ingredients if it's been added. There'll also be sodium in the milligrams on the label. So if you don't want to have salt in your herb blend or your spices blend, look for 0 or a very low number in the milligrams by sodium and look to see that there's no salt in the ingredients. Then you can add your own salt to your preference, right? If you're using just single herbs and single spices and combining them as you go, those again aren't going to have any salt in them. So you're kind of just blending as you go. So you're really just looking for what flavor do you want? What kind of flavor profile are you looking for? And that's where it does take a little bit of practice. But again, we gave you some good places to start. So you're not just testing from scratch and you can kind of see what appeals to you the most.
So storage of these different things are probably really, I've got a whole storage cabinet that you open up and you're like, wow, it's always got a great fragrance. But tell us about that. And how long can you hold on to these spices? I'm afraid to check some of the dates on mine.
Yeah, so there's a big difference between fresh herbs and our spices. So herbs are going to be like either the flowers or the plant or the fresh pieces of plants. So if you get them fresh, you can wrap them loosely in a damp paper towel and put them in a zip top bag and keep them in that crisper drawer in your refrigerator. You can do that for up to 2 weeks. So you can kind of just snip a little bit off of it if you're not using the whole bunch in a recipe, and keep it for about 2 weeks. Now, of course, if something's dried, it's going to last a lot longer. So technically, it's 6 months, which seems like a very short period of time if you think of how long you may have had things in your cupboard. But if they're whole, you're talking up to 5 years. So again, anytime we grind something, because spices are usually the seeds or the bark or those pieces of a plant, and they will last a little bit longer, of course, than fresh herbs. So you store them in a tight fitting glass jar, in a dark place if you can, so they're not exposed to light. And actually you want to keep them away from heat. So we don't want them right on top of our stovetop. So try to keep them in a cupboard nearby maybe, but keep them in a nice, cool, dark place. And then they should last for at least 6 months, if not longer.
All right, now the big question here, cooking with these things.
Yes.
One thing that always makes me upset is every time we get together for a cooking segment, I go home and I make these things, and I don't have the spices, but you make things taste so good. So if you're gonna pick your top 4 spices that just it's your go-to, Andrea.
Yeah.
I mean, people want, this is the secrets that the show gives out.
Right.
What are you going to pick out?
Oh, am I going to give away my secrets? Top 4.
Yes, you are.
Top 4 would definitely be cumin, cinnamon, chili powder, and dried coriander.
Coriander. What is coriander?
Yeah, dried coriander is actually dried cilantro. It's the seed of cilantro. So I like to have kind of a base of some dried spices, but then also mix in the fresh. So the dried spices are usually used while you're cooking, and very importantly, when you're using ground, they're very delicate. So this might sound kind of odd, but when you're cooking with it, you'll know you want to add it to the food. You don't want to add ground spices to just like a bare pan for very long. So you want to add them to the food, stir for about 30 seconds, and then it's at the point before you might add some liquid. What that'll do is it'll kind of toast the spices with whatever you're cooking, vegetables or meat or whatever, and then kind of lock that in before you add the liquid to the pan.
There you go. You don't get secrets like that anywhere else, folks. Right there, Andrew Miller making it awesome for you. Finally, quickly, if we could just talk about pickling, because definitely a lot of people are getting things. I'm seeing people doing it now, big time. Pickling in Wisconsin or pickling anything. What do you have for suggestions there?
Yes. So you don't have to take out the full, hot water bath to do the jars. You can do a quick pickling method with a simple brine, adding fruit or vegetable to your jars, and then you pour that brine mixture over, and it can stay in your fridge for about 2 weeks. So great method for summer produce. We have a lot of great ideas of combinations and a quick guide to do it either in our season magazine or online on our digital season magazine. And we're going to include the link to that to go right to that spot.
Yeah, that's all great information, Andrea. And yeah, as I've seen you do time and time again, you got to try these things, and you got the 4, your 4 secrets there of great spices. So we'll have to try those out for sure. And if people do want to get a hold of you, ask more questions about any of these and more topics, how can they find you?
Yep. So we're including our link that you can get online and connect with me via our virtual platform or directly via my email or mobile line.
All right. Well, my son's excited to be a part of this segment, so I'm just going to cover this up right there. He likes the spices. I do too. Andrea, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
We'll talk to you real soon.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Andrea Miller, dietitian. Check out the website, check the magazine, and certainly you can set up an appointment with her and ask her questions, and she'll give you those secrets right there, just like she just did. So now you know why you got to tune in each and every time here on Talking Fitchburg. Take a quick break. More to come. You are watching TF.
Brandon met a girl on a dating app. He finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
She must be a keeper.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for today. I want to thank Andrea from Hy-Vee helping us out, sharing those great spicing and pickling ideas. It's really good stuff there. And Andrew McFadden for helping us out with our construction update. And watch for that street sweeper. Again, come into a neighborhood near you as far as cleanup goes there. All right, let's wrap it up here. Andrew, hit it. No, I'm just kidding. Stay connected with Fact TV. We need some music for this every once in a while. I mean, I guess the music we have is fine, but I mean, just some like more upbeat music, Andrew. It's time for a change. It's like, this is what it is, okay? Stay connected. Join us again. Have a good day.